Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Begin, right? I sent you the uh, PDF for Tempest. Have you taken it out? Have you seen that PDF for Tempest? You should be on Act 1, Scene 1. Therefore, I sent you the whole book. Can you hear me? Okay. We have only 30 minutes, and if I keep on waiting for the students, I will not be able to complete what I want to do today. So I think I need to start. Uh, Florence, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good
Okay.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Can we start the class? Because I cannot wait. It is going to be only for 30 minutes. And as I keep waiting, my time reduces. So I will begin with whatever number I have. I have Abigail, Arpan, and Florence. I will begin with three of you. And as I have already given out the, let's see, characters and introduction of Tempest, you all are very familiar with William Shakespeare, and he's been a father of, we call him father of English language and literature both. So he has written so many dramas on comedies, tragedies, tragi-comedies. He has written all that, and therefore we are happy that we can study him. So when we look at here, some more are coming. Let me wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Uh, I hope I sent you the PDF of Tempest. If you have the PDF of the Tempest book, you can go over with your book with me and follow as I teach you uh, whenever we have a class. So you need to download it if you don't have the book. If possible, you can even take a print of the whole book and make it spiral binding. So daily you can study, you don't need to buy then. So this is what I'm trying to help you out. And I will do the same with the workbook also. So uh, some more are coming. Okay. Uh, let's go on. Act 1, Scene 1. And I told you in my previous introduction, when I was going over Tempest beginning, that this is not the actual beginning of the play. The actual beginning of the play begins from Act 1, Scene 2. And we are on Act 1, Scene 1. Good to see you, Karan. And I wish all of you can show me your faces. So
Good morning, ma'am.
good morning. I wish to see all of you, your faces. You're growing up.
Good morning, ma'am.
Uh, so we have here a tempestuous noise of thunder and lightning. This is how the beginning of the play. When we look at tempestuous now, and I said storm, tempest, and you've just gone through cyclone Taukte, right? Taute, and that was in Arabian Sea. Another one is coming in the Bay of Bengal. So when we look at here, these are the storms in the sea, and this tempest, particular one, is in the sea, where a ship is stuck up in the shallow part of the ocean, which means these people are struggling to get out of. They don't know they are already near the shore, and therefore when we see them, they are struggling, they are crying. The mariners are busy. Now mariners are the crew members of the ship. We have the boatswain, who is in charge of giving them the instruction. So he is trying to be very nice to his crew members because he wants them to work hard. Now, when you look at in the sea, when you have thunder and shower and heavy rains coming up, these crew members are working still on that on that winter on that weather, the stormy weather, and they have no other thing that just to carry on their work. If they are getting wet, they are feeling cold, they have to work to see, make sure that ship is moving in the right direction and the passengers are safe. That is what they are worried about. So when we look at here, thunder and lightning, that's the scene here. Enter a ship master and a boatswain. Now, ship master, you can call it captain of the sea, okay, captain of the ship. And boatswain happens to be the subordinate, the next in charge after the captain. So we have the order of the officers in the ship. First is the captain and then comes the boatswain. Now here, master here refers to the captain of the ship. I hope all of you have your book with you and you can follow me. It says master boatswain. Now, boatswain is the captain giving orders to the boatswain. Now, boatswain is in charge of all his crew members. Now, what are the instructions given by the captain are followed by boatswain, and boatswain gives those instructions to his fellow crew members, and this is how the work on the ship is being carried on. Boatswain say, "Here, master." Now he is very polite in replying to his master. He says, "Here, master," that means I'm here, give me your instruction. What cheer? Okay, cheer means even though in spite of the thunder and lightning, they still want to be in the cheerful mood. So they say, what cheer? Good, speak to the mariners. Now here, captain wants boatswain to speak to the mariners. Mariners are the crew members. Fall to it, Yarle, or we run ourselves aground. Be stir, be stir. Now he is telling, please go and encourage your sailors, your members to be ready for any situation. Now, when there's a heavy storm, we all knew when there was Taute cyclone, one big ship sank in the ocean, and they were not instructed to come back to the harbor. If they had come back, they had 70, 80 of them. They were lost, and they were able to find the bodies and the whole ship, and then they were able to save the rest. And when we look at here, tragedy in the sea, where you have only water and nothing else. Now here, in under such conditions, we see this particular man, boatswain, is trying to encourage his sailors, his crew member, and master is giving them the instructions. He wants them to be kind and loving at this time of the situation as they are going on. And they says, be ready for any situation. Either the ship is going to be sunk or the ship can go out of the sail. But let's not lose courage. Let's be encouraged by doing our work. Now it says, face the situation. Situation, the thunder and lightning. It's very hard when you have the thunder and lightning coming up, and then all the sails or anchors are all, very hard to move, and the ship moves according to the winds, the direction of the winds. So this is where they are alarmed here. They have to be very careful. And he says there's the danger of a ship getting stuck in the shallow water. Now, shallow water, you can imagine, that is where you cannot bring it out very easily once it gets stuck up in the shallow waters. But they have to bring the ship out of the shallow waters. Now, they don't know they are near the sail. Now, we all know that I told you in the introduction that Prospero is a magician. This particular storm that you are trying to see here is the one which is created by Prospero himself to bring all his enemies on the island. So therefore, this is a storm created by the magician, a great magician, Prospero, and he is trying to create by his magic fear in the hearts of these passengers who are traveling here. Now, who are the passengers here? Now we have King Alonso, who is the king of Naples, who was coming here in the ship. Then we have Antonio, the brother of Prospero. We have Sebastian, brother of King Alonso. We have Ferdinand, son of Alonso. And we have Gonzalo, the counselor to the king of Milan, that is Antonio now. Earlier it was Prospero. And we have Trinculo and Stefano. Okay, their names are not mentioned here, but they are also part of the passengers list. So when we see them all, all these people, and this ship, you can imagine this may be a private ship or something where only the king's party is there, royal party is traveling, and they want to reach to their place and their home. So here it says, after the instructions given by the master or the captain, boatswain has the next duty to go on. Now he goes to his mariners, his crew members. He says, "Hey, my hearts." Now here he says, "My hearts." Now whom do you call my hearts? The person who is very dear to you. You will not call anybody my hearts unless the person is not dear to you. Now he says, "My hearts." This here you can write it out. Refers to the crew members, the mariners. They need to be encouraged at this time. So here he says, "Hey, my hearts." Okay, this is referred to the mariners. "Cheerly, cheerly, my hearts." It says, "Be of good cheer. Be happy. You are my companion, and I'm with you all the time. Yare, yare, take in the topsail." Now he's giving them the topsail is there. Now you have to take it and try and see which way of the direction of the wind you have to change the topsail. This is how he's encouraging them. You can imagine the thunder and lightning going on, and you can imagine the heavy rains, and these people are working there. And then boatswain also is with them. He says to change the direction of the topsail. And then he says, "Tend to the master's whistle." The moment the captain is blowing the whistle, you must listen to it. That means if the captain is blowing a whistle, there is some alarm that we need to be very careful about. So he says, "Tend to the master's whistle," that is during the storm. "Blow till thou burst the wind if room enough." Okay, blow means as long as you can work hard, carry on your work. Now here it says, "till you burst in your pieces." That means till you give up. Burst in your pieces means till you give up working, changing the direction of the topsail, you continue your work. And this is why he says, "But do so provided there is enough sea space to accommodate you." Now, this is where he is trying to say, continue your work, don't give up, and I'm with you. Now, he says, as these people are busy working, mariners, boatswain, and captain, the master of the ship, here enters Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Ferdinand, Gonzalo, and others. And others, we have Stefano and Trinculo, and maybe some attendant of the ship. Okay. Now, here it says, now, when you think of such storm going on, and the whole passengers are just coming and demanding, asking questions from you, definitely your mood is going to be spoiled. And this is what happens here. Now, Alonso happens to be the king of Naples, and he is inquiring about the good boatsmen have care, trying to give him, "Oh, you're doing good job. Okay, good, carry on." And now he says, "Where is the master?" Now, after giving him some words of comfort, he says, "Where's the master?" And he says, "Play the man. Okay, let the man continue their work. But tell me where's the master of the ship?" So where he says, uh, "Play the man, uh, continue the good work as long as the storm is going on. I pray now keep below." Now, pray here refers to request. Okay, he's pleading with Alonso to please go down to the cabin and rest there. Okay, very politely he's saying that. I pray. Pray here means pleading. Keep below. That means you stay in your cabin and not to come and disturb us. This is in a polite way. He's trying to be very kind to the king here. We see the behavior of the boatswain here is different. And when he's little upset also, but at the same time trying to be calm and gentle in giving his answer to the king. Now he says, Antonio says, where is the master boatswain? Now Alonso has been told to go. It's not only Alonso, the all people, Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Ferdinand, and Gonzalo, and others, all have been directed by the boatswain to go into their cabin and wait there. Okay, till the storm is not stopped, and let them work peacefully. This is what he wants them to go into the cabin for. I say, where is the master boatswain? Now we know, King of Naples is Alonso, King of Milan is Antonio. So he's also showing his powers. So when he's showing his powers as the King of Milan, he's also asking, where is the master? Where is the master? Do you not hear him? Now you can see uh, slight anger or slight upset. This man is boatswain. Do you not hear him? Now, you don't hear him? I told you to go back to your cabin. You mar our labor. Mar means destroy, damage. Now we are busy trying to see how best we can face the storm in the sea here in our ship. We are trying to give you protection. Are you not able to listen to us and go back to your cabin? Don't disturb us. You mar our labor. There's a slight kind of a anger in the mind of boatswain here, because he's already told Alonso go back to his cabin, so he goes there. And when the second man is asking, there's slight anger because he wants to carry on his work peacefully with his mariners. And Antonio is the second person who is disturbing boatswain here. He says, keep your cabins. That's the third one. First one, do you not hear him? Second one, you mar our labor. Third one, keep your cabins. That means you need to go back to your cabins. You do assist the storm. That's the fourth one. Now, assisting the storm, he's trying to tell that you are increasing our problem by not going back to your cabins. By staying here and talking to us and wasting our time, you are wasting our efforts. We are not able to do our work, concentrate on our work, how to get the ship out of this shallow waters, and you are disturbing us. Now we see here, Boatswain has slight anger when he's talking to Antonio. We see a nay, good, be patient. My good Lord Gonzalo is a counselor. His work is to do counseling, and in the same manner, he is counseling who? He is counseling boatswain. He says, nay, good, be patient. He's telling this to boatswain. Now, under such circumstances, I don't see that these people can say they have patience. Now, you can't have patience when you're having the storm all around you. The ship can go into any kind of problem. It may also sink. And therefore, he says, have patience. And boatswain is again slightly little more anger is increasing in the mind of boatswain. He says, when the sea is, which means if the sea is calm, I will be calm. If the sea is not calm, I will not be calm. So when the sea is calm, hence, what cares these roarers? Now, roarers here means thunder and lightning. This is these people do not know that this storm is created by magician Prospero. They don't even know that Prospero is somewhere around here, and they don't even know they are near the island. And here they are trying to say, Boatswain is trying to tell them what these roarers, the elements of thunder and lightning, or why do they care for about you? Okay, he says, what cares these roarers? They will not care for you, whether you are a king or you are a lord, you are a counselor. They will not worry about you. They are the natural kind of a disaster which is striking and which we are facing here. So he says, uh, what cares these roarers for the name of the king? That means you should know that you may be a king, but the king cannot calm the storm. And the element of the sea are not going to obey Even if he says, calm down, they will not obey the king. They don't know who the king is. Their work is to create a storm here and be help and then make us alert so that we'll be able to overcome these people. And he says, two cabins, silence, trouble us not. And this is, you can say, the increased anger of the boatswain. Two cabin. Go back to your cabin and stay quiet. Silence means to stay quiet. Trouble us not. Okay. Do not trouble us. As long as we are here working and trying to see your safety and saving the passengers, you do not need to come here and disturb us. Gonzalo says, good. Yet remember whom thou hast aboard, sorry, not abroad, aboard. Now here it says, just remember in this ship, who are the people traveling? Just remember who are the people. And this is, aggravating the situation for boatswain. Aggravating means increasing the situation for boatswain. He says, none that I am more loved than myself. He says, right now I love only myself. And if I ask you, whom do you love? You'll say, I love myself first, then the others. Yourself comes first because self is very important for us. So he says, I do not know who is the king and who is the counselor. I only love myself here. So when he's trying to say, I only love myself more than anything else in the world, you are a counselor. Now he is referring to Gonzalo. He says, you are a counselor. Counselor here is Gonzalo. You can write it out. If you can command his elements to silence and work the peace of present, we will not hand a rope more. Okay. Now I give you liberty of counseling the storm, the thunder and lightning. Tell this thunder and lightning your advice that you are giving me to be calm. Are these thunder and lightning going to listen to your command? If they are going to listen to your command, I will stop my work. Okay, it says, silence and work the peace of the present. We will not hand a rope anymore. We will not work on the topsail. We will not work on the anchors. We will stop the work completely if the waves and the thunder and lightning obey your command, obey your advice. We will stop our work. And this is a kind of sarcasm which Shakespeare has brought here in this particular scene, where Bosman is able to tell, okay, you are a counselor, give the counseling to the thunder and lightning. Kind of a sarcasm which Shakespeare has brought in here. Use your authority. That's the second word he says. Your authority, you are a counselor, use. If you cannot, okay, give thanks you have lived so long. It says, if you are not able to control the storm, be able to thankful that you have lived so long. Maybe, Gonzalo happens to be an old man, maybe in 60s or 70s. I don't know how old he is, but he says, be thankful that you have lived so long. Give thanks to God. And now be ready. Now give thanks to God that you have lived so long means be thankful. And if at all you lose your life, be ready to do that. So when he's trying to say that, be ready to die. You have lived so long. Indirectly, he's trying to tell him, give thanks, you have lived so long. You have lived maybe 60 years or 70 years, maybe I don't know how long, but be thankful. And then he goes on to say, make yourself ready in your cabin for the mischance of the hour. Now, this is the third time he's saying, make yourself, go back to the cabin and make yourself ready. Mischance here means you either lose your life or you live. Uh, that has to be there. Either the storm calms down, so you live. If the storm is not calming down, then you lose your life along with me. So he says, be ready for any mischance of the hour. Mischance of the hour. If you go quietly to your cabin and pray, and then get ready to die or get ready to live. You have two things in life, either to get alive or to lose life. He says, cheerly good hearts. Now we have the two behavior of the boatswain here. He is upset with Antonio and the whole group. Gonzalo, Antonio. He's not upset with Alonso. He quietly goes off and he's praying, Alonso. But he's upset with Gonzalo and Antonio. And then at the same time, it's very hard to show your two behaviors. You have your mariners, and he says here, cheerly good hearts, that he is calling his mariners, encouraging them. At the same time, he's losing his anger with the Antonio and Gonzalo, but at the same time, he's changing his behavior towards his own men. And this is very important, that sometimes, it is the dual behavior of a person which is very hard to develop. But Boatswain is trying to be very good. He says, cheerly good hearts. He says, good hearts. That means you are very good people. You are my heart and you are my person. I'm with you. Out of our way, I say. And then he tells this to Antonio and Gonzalo, go out of our way. Don't disturb us. So here it says, cheerly good hearts to his mariners. And out of our way, he tells to his people who are standing there. And says, you see, continue your effort, you brave fellows. To Gonzalo, he says, get off our way. Okay. Gonzalo is the one who is giving them, okay, you don't know who are the people traveling in this passage, in this ship. And he says, the cares, the roars of the sea. They don't know whether the king is traveling or a counselor is traveling or some other lords are traveling. They don't know. They will continue their work. So when we look at this kind of behavior, we see here the dual behavior of Boatswain is seen here, upset with Gonzalo and upset with Gonzalo and happy with his mariners. Cheering his mariners, upset with Gonzalo. The dual behavior Shakespeare has brought in here in this particular line. He says, Gonzalo, I have great comfort from this fellow. Now here, this fellow refers to Boatswain. Please mark it there. Okay, this fellow here is, because it's Boatswain is telling you, go back to your cabin, and you have lived so long, pray, and whether you live or you die. Okay, and so here Gonzalo, he says, I have great comfort from this fellow. This is a kind of sarcastic remark from Gonzalo about Boatswain. He's not showing his anger, but he is a bit sarcastic here when he is talking to this man called Boatswain. Methinks he had no drowning mark upon him. His complexion is perfect gallows. Okay. Methinks, me here is Gonzalo. Okay, you can write there, Gonzalo. And that is, I think he had no drowning mark upon him. That means he's not going to die in the water, but his complexion is perfect gallows. He will die on the land. He will be put on the gallows. You know, the rope that you put around the person who has to die on the gallows. So he wishes, what kind of death for this person, Boatswain? He wishes a death that is going to hang him. Okay. And for that, you need a land. Okay. In order to hang this man known as Boatswain, that means the point here, he's positive that definitely the ship is going to be out of danger and he's going to live, but he will make sure that he's king. The two ship, they will make sure that they will put him on the gallows after the ship touches the land. So this is the behavior of this one. And there's only 3 minutes left. I'm going to stop here and I'll start from Gonzalo next period. That will be on Thursday, I think. Same time. I'll continue from here. So you have any question, please write in your, send me on my WhatsApp. And have you understood what I taught you today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Is it easy now or is it hard? Okay, I'm going to come get out of this. Please, my time is up. So I'll see you in the next class, children. God bless you. Have a good day. I will send a recording to you right away. Okay. I will
Okay,
save it
ma'am.
and
Thank
send the
you.
recording of the same. So you can go over and listen to it from your school app. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all the
Yes,
best. God
ma'am.
bless you.
Yes, ma'am.
See you on Thursday at
Okay,
9 o'clock.
ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, ma'am.